I believe that Netease is going to continue to release survivors that have some type of kiting ability. Well, it got much worse than that. It has been 6 months since I released my prediction video, The Future of Identity V, and looking back on the video, I see how much worse everything has gotten since then. I made quite a lot of interesting statements. I would say that most of them came true and actually happened, but some not so much. My main gripes for the game were that the meta felt a little bit stale, that the persona web felt very stagnant, and that the power creep was slowly leading the game to update and to release characters with never-ending increasing power levels. Although we haven't seen any changes in the meta in the past 6 months, we have been promised a big nerf and a big adjustment to all of the meta characters. That would include Priestess, Forward, Seer, Mercenary, and Mechanic. Although we still have no idea how severe that's going to be. So to Netease's credit, they may be sorting out the problem. Maybe. I also remember that Netease said that they were going to rework Spectator. There have been no leaks or any information about this if this is actually going to be true. Along with an extra trait maybe for hunters that has been more or less confirmed by now, and I'm excited to see when that comes out. That could change the game just a little bit. After this though, it seems to have gone quite downhill. One of my biggest predictions was that I expected Netease to only release survivors from then on with abilities that could help them kite. I was completely right about this. Since that video we've had survivors like Toy Merchant who has the flying ability and the catapult, and we also have had Psychologist who has the stress bubble that lets her kite for a little bit longer, and Patient with his 3 grappling hooks. But what I didn't expect was that there was going to be this. Well, we've had quite a lot of kiting buffs, and I would say it has gotten much harder for hunter mains. I predicted that they were going to adjust older survivors to bring them up to the same level as the recent survivors, but I also predicted this. Netease is most probably going to update all the previous hunters that have already been released to have some type of map pressure or cipher pressure. This just didn't happen. The Ripper adjustment and buff has still not happened yet, and there are no rumors about it even coming out anytime soon. And all the hunters have really gotten is just a couple of adjustments to maybe their pallet breaking speed or to their hitbox judgment, and nothing really more to their abilities, mostly just minor interaction changes. In the case of the top hunters, Naiad, Sculptor, Breaking Wheel, and Dream Witch, they have almost all been nerfed several times, except for Naiad, who's had a recent couple of buffs, but she did get nerfed a little bit at the beginning. The rumors for that photographer buff that was supposed to come never happened, and I still have not heard anything more about that. The Evil Reptilian buff actually turned out to be a nerf, and now his cooldown is much longer. And we haven't really seen much else except for increasing powers of survivors and decreasing abilities of hunters. Wait there, Phoenix, because I have some news for you, the viewers. There are some coming changes to this YouTube channel. Don't worry though, you'll still be getting the usual content, but I have just added the membership feature to this channel, and now you can support me and the content I create, along with receiving some exclusive emotes and a badge next to your name in the comments and live streams. Wait, did I just say live streams? Yes, I'm planning on streaming on YouTube soon, and I'll keep you updated. There are some other perks that you can receive and different tiers that can help me make more content every week, with different benefits that you can get for each tier. For the price of a cup of coffee, you can support me, so check it out by clicking the join button next to the subscribed button. Yes, subscribed. I'm planning a lot more for the channel and other things as well, and I'm really looking forward to the future of my journey as a content creator, so I hope to have you around for the ride. I also wanted to thank you so much guys for getting me to the Creative Star content creator thing for Identity V. It means that I can do a lot more for my streams and also for my content, and it really also does support me. I really thank you guys for getting me this far. Now, back to Past Phoenix. The decoding apocalypse has arrived, and matches usually now take around 4 to 6 minutes, usually on the lower end being around 4 minutes. Most hunters now don't have enough time to be able to win a match, and usually you're fighting just to get the tie. Survivors have also had a lot of decoding buffs, most notably and most recently Prisoner, who got his decoding buff over long distance, Barmaid, who got her reduction in her tipsy state, meaning that she can decode a little bit faster. Lawyer, who got a different buff to be able to go up to 20% faster decoding, and also his recent buff where he gets 1% for every 5% of a cipher he decodes until he gets up to that 20%. And some characters, for example like Wildling, they've had their debuff decoding a little bit adjusted, making it faster for them to decode. The increased decoding speed combined with the increased kiting time that survivors can do due to their abilities, or you could say strong kiting abilities. Even, for example, Lucky Guy, who now has a strong early game because he can instantly get any item that he requests, or, at least a random one, making him once again another survivor that you can't chase in the early game. Many of the bigger content creators for the game have completely left the game, and also a lot of competitive players. And I think not only that, but a lot of players themselves have also left the game, because now it feels like waiting times can fluctuate, because I think there are less hunters playing the game and possibly even less survivors playing. So this means that waiting times and queue times are usually much longer, and it usually fluctuates. In conclusion, I really see that Identity V is moving towards a very different style of gameplay than it used to. They are really trying to change up the core mechanics of the game and make it feel fresh and new for newer players and also for OG and veteran players. We do have some hope for the future though. The rank changes that Netease has just added does possibly show that Netease is paying more attention and maybe is trying to help out the hunter mains a little bit more, even though this isn't the solution that we would really want to see. And they have promised us that they're going to be fixing Cipher Rush quite soon, and that is a huge problem in the game right now, where it feels like matches are going much too quickly. We can hope that Identity V will become fun to play again. I have stopped trying to theorize what Netease is going to implement next into their game because it feels very unpredictable and also really counter whatever the community needs. Survivors continue to get more and more powerful, and I'm really not sure if that's going to change anytime soon. And we could say that most of the changes that they've adjusted to the hunters do feel quite mediocre at best. In the NA, EU, North American and European server, we have been denied tournaments apart from the COA tournaments that we have every year. So this means that we also don't have enough competitive initiative for players to be able to kind of get better at the game, or for new players to come and join just so they can join a more competitive gameplay that most people want to join competitive online games for. I hope that Netease's big November update that is coming, that is promised as a new story mode, will possibly revamp the game and maybe change the game a little bit more. They have been working on the AI in the background, and maybe they're going to implement this into the game in some way or some form. So I really do hope that something special comes out in November. But I'm really honestly not that certain anymore. And I really do know that a lot of you are feeling quite burnt out by the game at the moment. If you don't understand what some of the issues are for the game, then you should watch this video here. I also expect that in the next few seasons that Netease will introduce some more hunters that are very anti-certain survivors or very anti-certain persona webs. Maybe a hunter to counter broken windows, or specifically tie turner, or maybe even borrowed time.